Dan Amicarelli. I'm a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel. I'm also a business consultant, done that for years, and now I've got a web-based property management business I'm a partner in. I've been doing the Jasuru now since mid-December, so just a few months. And I have to tell you one more thing about my background, and that's that I used to be a runner. I used to run all the time. I used to run 7, 8 miles a day, and I used to do that 5 or 6 days a week. So that was a lot of mileage when you add that up. Well, what ended up happening is about 4 or 5 years ago, my knees started to ache so bad, I literally could not run anymore. Every step I took was painful, so I stopped. I absolutely stopped. The other thing I didn't tell you was that I used to play soccer as well a little bit, and I had a knee injury. It's about 17 years ago now. And they said when they reconstructed my knee that I'd be having some arthritis in about 7 or 8 years. Well, I managed to continue running 13, 14 years after that, so I figured I was doing pretty well. But I tried taking all the joint pills, all the supplements that you see out there, and when I took them, I can tell you, I never noticed a difference, not from one day to the next. And so what ended up happening was, literally, I almost even gave up on the pills. They just didn't seem like they were doing anything. Well, when my knees started hurting, I noticed they were getting stiffer because I do a lot of work at the computers, and each day, probably, I'd say 8, 9 hours sometimes behind the computer. And then when I started taking the Jasuru about 3 weeks after I started with that, what happened was I noticed the stiffness in the knees went away. And then within about another half a week, the week after that, I noticed I could start running again. And so that, to me, was pretty amazing. And not just the fact that I could run, but the fact that my knees literally just did not hurt at all. So that was pretty amazing. And I have to say one last thing, and that's that the person who's the, I shouldn't say person, but the one who's the most thrilled about the fact that I can run again is I have a little Jack Russell Terrier who loves to run, so she's just thrilled to see me run with her again.